Oh, I probably should have told you what crystal we were working with. We're working with, let me pull it off of my heart. Hello, friends, and welcome to Wonderland. My name is Allison, the self proclaimed priestess of Wonderland. And on this YouTube channel, I am here to encourage you to be the most sovereign version of yourself, the highest and best version of yourself. And I share my stumbling way of making my way there as well. So, one of the biggest and I think most profound ways that I connect to my spirituality. And one of the things that I've found that has helped me most on my spiritual journey is working with crystals. So, in these Let's Get Stoned videos, I encourage you to connect with your crystals personally and see what messages you receive from them for you. But in these videos, I sit in meditation and write down all of the messages that I receive during that meditation. And then I compare it to research through books or websites on the internet and see if that information is correct or validated. So I'm starting out this video very much the same how I have started all of my other Let's Get Stoned videos, is that it's been a very long time since I originally sat and did the meditation, but I really do feel like this is just one more example of how crystals work with you. They kind of come into your life like when you need them. And that's been the case every single time. There's some sort of synchronicity that lines up with when I first chose to work with the crystal and sit in meditation, and compared to what's going on in my life now. There's just multiple reasons for where I was in on my journey when I originally started working with this crystal and comparing it to now are very similar. It's the same situation, but I've kind of worked my way through a lot of the things that Morganite has helped me with since originally working with it. So let's check in with past Allison and see what was going on, what made me kind of pick up this crystal and start working with it. I feel called to mention that I've been feeling really low lately. So a lot of times when I feel low, I think like most people, you try to mask it and you try to put on a happy face and do something to make yourself feel better. And I feel like mentioning that because I think that this crystal has been calling to me to sit and meditate with it for a reason. It's been sitting on my desk for a really long time, and now I'm finally taking the time. After coming in, I went outside trying to like ground and make myself feel better, and I just feel blah and I can't get away from it. So let's see what comes up in meditation for us with Morganite. So, how past Allison was feeling is very much how I have been currently feeling. For those of you who are Ko-fi members or Twitch subscribers and have been watching my seasonal recaps that I release quarterly now, that is just me kind of just talking about what's been going on in my life. They're very personal videos and intimate videos, so that's why I reserve them for the people in this community that I'm closest with, because I'm trusting them with my heart because you guys support me so much. So I'm very much in the same kind of sentiment that I was when I started working with Morganite. And so I was drawn to start working with it today. I don't know, I guess it was just divine timing because I'm obviously in need of this crystal's properties and uses at this time. So it felt like it was difficult for me. Like I felt like I could like put my hands on the wall like this. So I felt very confined and that I had to make space for myself within this crystal. Like I had to push the walls out. And what that says to me is that this stone can help grow and expand feelings of love or your acceptance and allowance of love. Okay, so this is one of those examples of like you can't make this shit up. Like everything that came up in meditation this time is almost like word for word what I pulled up with research. And the two resources that I'm using today are Athena Parakis's Crystalpedia. Dr. Athena Parakis is the founder and creator of Sage Goddess and is also the creator of the Oracle deck that I was referencing in the meditation video. And the second resource is 101 Power Crystals by Judy Hall. So the feeling of like needing to grow and expand, I thought was really interesting. Like looking back on it now, it literally feels like Morganite helps you to make room in your heart for love, like creating more space for love and healing. So Athena Prakis says that Morganite can open the heart to deeper levels to make you feel worthy of a soul connection. And then just generally speaking, Morganite is used for divine love, compassion, and forgiveness. And as I was like growing, like pushing out these walls and kind of trying to expand them, I was like stuck on one spot, and it was like it wasn't this light pink color. It was like brown and dingy. So the smaller version of myself was like spending time like trying to wash and clean and cleanse like this spot that was like dirty and dingy. This was so funny and interesting to me. It was like going within my heart and trying to like create that space. It's almost like Morganite was like pulling out like the rag and the spray bottle, like, girl, your heart be dirty. Like clean this heart up a little bit. Athena Parakis says that it Morganite connects to the water element specifically for like cleansing and clearing stagnant energies, which apparently my heart has a lot of stagnant energies. She also says that Morganite brings deeply stored trauma to the surface, like for cleansing and releasing. And then Judy Hall says that Morganite teaches the soul how to release feelings and experiences that have become toxic. Once these blockages have been released, your soul can reclaim that temple, as in the temple within yourself, as its own sacred inner space. So it's literally as if like Morganite helps you create a space within your heart, creates a sacred temple, opens you up to the sacredness and the sovereignty of love and divinity. I also just physically had a lot of sensations within my shoulder and my chest on the left side. And typically, people that are like protecting their heart will be rolling their shoulders forward. Like, think about when you go like to meet people for the first time and you like, or you walk into a room of people and like everybody stops and is like looking at you, and how like your posture kind of like contorts, like rounds and protects. That's like a natural thing that we do, or subconscious thing that we do to protect our hearts. We're like literally trying to shield our heart. But I don't know, I was really feeling like this need to like roll my shoulders back. I was even feeling like sharp little pings, but I do also have something going on with my shoulder right now. But I do have like a heart tattoo here. It is symbolic of heart pain or emotional pain. So I've always been fascinated with the emotional physical connection of like how we store emotions in our body and how they manifest within us physically. As a massage therapist, I see this all of the time with clients, and I feel like it's not talked about enough. It's not recognized scientifically, even though I feel like personally I have so many experiences of noticing when I'm experiencing pain in my body that it's not just physical, it's emotional. And I have so many experiences as a massage therapist with this. And one of the ones that has I've never forgotten it because it happened in massage school. There was this one client that I was working on, and like he's totally quiet throughout the entire massage, and then I start working on his right shoulder, and all of a sudden he just starts pouring out this story about his brother and something that happened to his brother, and like just all of this information started pouring out of him, and I've never forgotten that. Like he was literally storing the emotions around the event that he was talking about, and about his brother in his shoulder. And I see this all the time as a massage therapist. In Judy Hall's book, The 101 Power Crystals, she goes into the psychosomatic healing of Morganite is able to hold the emotional body stable while deep changes take place. So I really feel like Morganite is a crystal that you should work with for like extended periods of time to allow yourself the time to like transmute and integrate and understand and learn and heal, and like to give yourself and your body that time it needs to do the self-healing work. Also, when I first began, I asked specifically for my most loving and supportive guides. For a lot of us, that is angels, because angels love us unconditionally. Their mission here is to help us um, without any judgment. Like they're always there unconditionally. So this was so profound for me as well. I feel like I'm saying that after everything. In Athena Parakas's book, she says that Morganite can open the heart to deep spiritual levels. Specifically, she says, open the angelic heart. She says that Morganite can bridge your heart with the heart of higher realms. For me, and she doesn't exactly describe what opening the angelic heart means, but I think that means like opening a more compassionate heart, a heart that's going to love unconditionally, like with no judgment. And I think that it probably applies to how you feel about others, but also yourself, like allowing yourself to love yourself unconditionally. Specifically because it seems like Morganite like really helps to heal those deep seated trauma and wounds that we have on our hearts from life experiences. It seems that like this stone can help open you to, because we're often most hard on ourselves. So I feel like Morganite helps us to open ourselves up to unconditional love for ourselves. I feel like it's easier to love other people unconditionally than it is to like forgive yourself for whatever experiences you've had or whatever. And kind of along those lines, Judy Hall says that Morganite can help dissolve subconscious resistance to the fear of being healed. And she goes on to explain, if you are comfortable with your pain, which a lot of us are, we get comfortable. A lot of times, like even like physical pain, you just get so used to it, you don't even feel it until you actually find relief and you're like, oh my gosh, I had no idea I was in such pain. So she says, if you are comfortable with your pain and afraid to move forward, this crystal gently shows you that it is safe to step into well-being, which I just hit me like so hard. I was just like, this is so very true when we encounter, when we're doing shadow work, when we're trying to heal those deep traumatic wounds that we have. It's almost like there is this fear to be healed. Like fear of like we hold on to our pain because I don't for various reasons. Like we're afraid of like what comes after that healing. Sometimes, especially, this crystal is also used for grief and loss. Like with grief, a lot of times I know we hold on to it because it's like the last of that person that we have. And so like you want to hold on to that grief because it feels like sometimes once you let go of that grief that that person is truly gone. But I just love that it gently shows you that it is safe to step into well-being. especially because like a lot of the wounds that we hold on to, a lot of the pain, a lot of those walls and blockages that we have are for a reason because we think that we're protecting ourselves. But really and truly, being well and whole is better than the being scared and thinking that you're safe and protected when you're really not. And as someone who like doesn't feel like they have any physical people that love me unconditionally in my life, that felt very emotional and in a way supportive. It felt like a reminder that like even if you feel like you don't have any physical people in your life that support you, spirit is always there to support you. So I specifically asked for them, and I was getting a lot of tingly sensations again on the left side, kind of the front of my head and down back, and almost as if someone was like putting their hands on my shoulders, like standing behind me and like putting their hands on my shoulders. I thought about my grandmother a lot because she was a person who I felt really did love. She thought I was weird, but she still loved me, and or I felt like she loved me, which is something that I don't feel with anybody else, including my mother and my husband. Like all of the people in my life, I don't feel like it's unconditional. So this was like kind of difficult for me to hear, and also makes me feel very vulnerable to put it out there that I don't feel loved by the people in my life. And that doesn't mean that they don't love me. It means that I have put up these walls and not allowed their love in, which I'm very self-aware of. But I mean it's sad, and but it's true. We put these walls up because we think that we're protecting ourselves when really we're not allowing that love in. Those The giving and receiving channel isn't open both ways. The time went by really fast. Like it was kind of like, but it felt very nice and comfortable. Like I didn't want to come out of meditation. I like wanted to stay here for a little while and absorb just this lovely feeling. So as far as like not wanting to come out of the meditation with this crystal, I think it's because it, like I said earlier, that it should be used for extended periods of time to allow yourself the steps that you need, or that time that you need to heal. Because like I'm always saying, like just chisel away at your blockages, at your triggers, at your shadow. Just take little small chunks at a time. It's not all going to happen overnight. It's not all going to happen all at once. You're not going to meditate with this crystal once and all of your heart wounds are healed. This is like allow yourself time to sit to work with this. Carry it with you regularly for a month. For do it for a moon cycle. Um, do it for a year. Have it as your crystal for the year. This is my heart healing year. I also was getting the message that if you love something, then it will work out. Because once you strip away all of that worry and doubt, if you still really want the thing and want to go for the thing and want to do the thing, and you feel that inspiration and that passion, then do it. Kind of along the lines of like if you had everything that you needed, like money, support, time, energy, if you had everything that you needed to do something, would you still do it? Or what would you do? Like finding that thing that you would do no matter what, no matter if you won the lottery tomorrow, like would you still be doing whatever? So helping to find just the support that you need. So I I want to try to figure out how to like word this and explain this, that I hope I'm getting my point across. I think like that, like what I was picking up in meditation with this is that if we are not whole, and whether that's like on, I mean, we're talking about the heart here, but I think this can apply to like if your sacral chakra is not healed, or if your solar plexus isn't healed, or like if there's any aspect of yourself that is still wounded and broken, I think that like maybe we're not able to access our true life purpose. Whether your life purpose has anything to do with like love and connection and divinity, I think this can apply to anything. I think like when we're neglecting parts of ourself and when we're neglecting parts of our life, I think that we probably struggle to access what our true life purpose is, or we, because you have to be whole to like do the thing that you were meant to do when you came here. So I kind of think that that's like what I was picking up on, that like and specifically for me, like I have to heal these parts of my heart in order to continue on my path and continue on my journey. Specifically for me, my life path card is is the lover's card, and I struggle with relationships, and I have very deep-seated wounds. I literally have a heart tattooed on my chest that's being stabbed a million times. I basically have the Three of Swords tattooed on my chest. So I have a lot of healing work to do. I have a lot of growth that I need to do. And I really feel like Morganite came back to me. Obviously, I've already started working with it, but it was like, girl, you need to work with this like more closely and more deeply and for an extended period of time. So a very, very lovely stone. Oh, and it was also like telling me that I needed to go back and work with garnet again, and specifically the garnet and our pheasantite that I had been using. It's really like I work with garnet and our pheasantite during eclipse season because I feel like it helps you integrate and kind of look at your shadow compassionately. Like it, garnet is red, our pheasantite's black, and when they grow together, they just, it's this like heart and darkness, heart and shadow. And so I've been working with that, or around the time I'm filming this, because we just exited eclipse season. And I've been really feeling called to work with garnet again. And now it's coming up again in this video. And anybody out there watching, I do have a garnet Let's Get Stoned video. And I'm really feeling called to work with it for the Aries full moon that we have coming up in October of 2024. I'm also going to read the little card that it came with. So, Morganite is the queen of the love stones, a heart chakra gem. It helps you feel worthy of love, forgiveness, and compassion. Morganite releases feelings of pain and sorrow, increasing your inner strength and personal sovereignty. Morganite is a crystal of sovereignty and compassion that's considered the queen of love stones. It vibrates with the frequency of divine love and inspires you to embody that love and share it with others. Morganite resonates with and opens the heart chakra, promoting emotional healing, including the healing of anger, fear, and judgment. That was like the description on the card that came with the Morganite that I had purchased. And I thought it was so interesting because I mean, obviously I've been like doing this work trying to heal heart wounds. And so I've been working with the Goddess of Love tarot. And there's some really wonderful spreads with like journaling questions in here. And one of the readings that I did for myself brought up the Sun card, and like we're all familiar with the Sun card of how it represents just joy and happiness. And the description in the Goddess of Love deck says the sun is an omen of warmth and joy, a guide through the perils of whatever journey you're on. When you pull the sun, you're uncovering your sexual and sensual self. The lust feeds you, turns you on, and allows you to turn your gaze inward. It represents the alchemical rage that comes from protecting and devoting yourself to another, the lioness who would do anything for her cubs. It is the rage of heartbreak and the empowerment that comes from recognizing your sexuality as sovereign. So I've really been exploring the idea of sovereignty. And here in Wonderland, I encourage people to like be the priestess of your own world, be the king or queen of your own world. And this deck like really helps you to like tap into these wounds that Morganite can help heal you, and to recognize your ability to love is like yours to rule. Like you can define the boundaries of who or what you allow into your heart, and to have that divine grace and discernment to make those decisions, to allow yourself to heal, to give yourself the time and space to heal. And it feels like Morganite is literally like creating a a kingdom within your heart, like a creating the space, like making room for love to come in to your domain or to your kingdom. Other things about Morganite is that it is pink beryl, and the thing that makes it pink is manganese. In Athena Parakas's book, The Crystalpedia, she has a magical message from Morganite, which says, "Love is never lost. It resides within you, waiting to be accessed. Open your heart to the connection that you deserve. It is safe to share yourself with others. Remember the queen you are and accept nothing less in relationships than to be honored, revered, and prized." So I hope you enjoyed these messages from Morganite today. If you are looking to heal some deep seated wounds or trauma, or just want to be able learn to love, accept, allow, and accept love into your life, I highly recommend working with Morganite for those purposes. We all need some heart healing on some level. And I think that like this makes Morganite would be really wonderful for jewelry because, like I said, I feel like you need to work with it for an extended period of time to give yourself that time and space to heal. And what better way to wear a necklace every day or a ring? Of course, you can get little tumbled pieces like I have and keep them in a little medicine pouch and carry them with you. So I hope that you feel inspired to connect with your crystals to learn what their messages are specifically for you. And thanks for getting stoned with me. We'll see you next time on the other side of the looking glass.